It's incredibly easy and tempting to oversimplify complex problems like what's happening in Afghanistan. And I know I'm a little late to the party when it comes on commenting on what happened, but the reason for that is because I don't really chase hype and I don't want to attract people to this channel who are just following issues that have been put into the media and are on YouTube chasing issues that are hot. But I do want to present a non-biased view and a bigger picture of what's really going on. And really, we can trace this back to 1979 when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan for a variety of reasons. This invasion tragically led to the deaths of millions of Afghan citizens, and thousands of radical Islamists from all over the world came to Russia to fight an insurgency in the defense of the Afghans. Some of the really important names of fighters that came to Afghanistan were Ayman Al Zawahiri, an Egyptian radical Islamist and the current leader of Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, the founder of Al-Qaeda and an early ally of the Taliban, and Mosab al Zarqawi, who died in 2006 at the hands of the US military in Iraq, where he founded the group now known as ISIS. This Russian invasion led to the rise of radical Islam in Afghanistan, and a lot of angry and violent young men flocked to join the radicals, who they felt were the only solution to expelling Russia from this country. And side note, while this was going on, the CIA actually funneled millions of dollars into training and funding these radical men who eventually turned on the United States. So eventually Russia assassinated the Afghani president and set up a puppet regime in his place. And when they left Afghanistan, this led to a bloody civil war which rocked the country and led to a coalition of radical Islamic militias ruling it. These militias eventually began to fight among themselves, and the Taliban, with the help of radical Islamic figureheads like Osama bin Laden, emerged victorious. This history is incredibly important to Afghanistan and the Middle East at large because this war in Afghanistan by the Russians really led to a destabilization of the Middle East, and out of this war, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS all were founded. And this explains why there's such a radical component in Afghanistan to this day. This militant activity isn't exclusive to Afghanistan either. We see insurgencies in countries like Iraq, Pakistan, Egypt, and several others. It's easy for us to say that the reason all of these countries experience an insurgency is because Islam is the prevalent religion in all of them. But I actually think that's a little bit of an oversimplification. Even before the advent of Islam, the Middle East was an incredibly tribalistic region. This means that typically the government either doesn't have enough power or is too corrupt to enforce any sort of codified laws, and so it's up to the tribes to do it. You and your extended family enforce the laws and rules that govern your society. So if someone in your tribe is murdered, you don't call the police, you murder someone from their tribe. This tribalistic mindset has made it incredibly difficult to form a democratic government in any Middle Eastern country because inevitably someone from one tribe will rise to power and other tribes won't like being told what to do, and so they'll fight the centralized government. And this wasn't uncommon in even some developed countries. For example, in medieval Europe, it was extremely hard for kings to form a centralized government because they had to rely on nobility and aldermen to supply their army. And it was hard to keep them from fighting amongst themselves. So it was hard for even Europeans to form any centralized governments for centuries. Imperialism certainly didn't help matters in the Middle East either. For centuries, the Middle East has basically been colonized by one European power after another, and this has led to having a very militaristic mindset and a militaristic culture. Insurgency, in a lot of these cases, has become embedded in the culture after decades and in some cases centuries of various military occupations. Now, I've given you guys a lot to chew on, and if you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. I do post weekly videos on topics ranging from politics to philosophy to book reviews to theology, all sorts of stuff. So I'm Muslim Elaneezy, and I hope you have a great day.